you're actually speaking with an intelligence like 1,000 times yours, literally.
It's going to revolutionize every industry.
We're seeing much less mistakes because with AI you can train them on every document and take all of your organizational knowledge. Many things would be disrupted by AI in the next few years. It's going to change everything.
Hey everyone, thanks for joining us today. I am super excited to interview Ofer Avnery. He is one of the leading voices in AI. He's the founder of Realty and RealWave and is changing the real estate and mortgage industry with the integration of AI. He's an entrepreneur, and we're going to have a great conversation today about how AI is changing our world, how it's changing our work environment, how it's changing the mortgage industry, the real estate industry, and so forth. Ofer, it's so great to have you. Thank you so much for being on the show. I am really excited for our conversation. You and I've had many conversations offline, and you've inspired me with AI, something I was a little bit afraid to even step into. So I'm excited for our guests to talk through all the different things we're going to talk about. So
Yeah, thank you for having me here. It's a pleasure and an honor to be speaking together with you. And AI is, everybody's talking about AI, and there is a big dissonance between what people think it does and what it actually does and can do for you and your business. And I hope maybe today we can talk about it and see what it really can do for you.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there's tons of topics that we're going to get into. I would love to have you kind of share with our audience just a little bit of background about yourself and how did you get into, technology and then combine it with real estate? What kind of needs did you see that were out there that caused you to do that?
Well, my background is computer sciences. As a 8-year-old kid, I got my first computer, fell in love with it, and it was easy for me. That's what I did. I, graduated college with computer sciences, and I always hated to report myself to someone. So I was an entrepreneur always and set up my own company or companies along the time. And in the first 20 years of my career, I specialized in business intelligence. Business intelligence is basically helping organizations, enterprises, to convert tons of data into knowledge, into insights, into actions. So imagine the CEO of Coca-Cola goes into the office 9 a.m. and what do I do today? I have like 5,000 different operations. How do I decide what to focus? So for them, for example, we designed the 2-click dashboard approach. Click 1, the CEO opens the dashboard, see everything he needs to know for today, all the pain points or the problems, what he needs to do. Click 2, he closes the dashboard and goes to. So did that for a while. Our company got acquired. And then I was just like, 20 years of high tech, just too much. Let's chill a little bit. And I moved to the United States with my family in order to retire from tech and do some passive investment in real estate with the money I got from the acquisition of the company. Little did I know that there's no such thing as passive investment when you do your own real estate.
I would love, what was the learning curve on that?
Oh, wow. Oh, my God. We started in 2013, so it was a great time to start after the...
definitely. The timing was great.
Foreclosures, we were getting them so easily and we were flipping, so it was fun. But at this time, we were getting a list on Thursday night from the trustees. Hey, here are the auctions that are going to be tomorrow at 8 a.m. And the list has 400 properties. You never saw any one of them. The prices are just random. You don't have any ARVs, like nothing. How do you analyze 400 properties in one night? So you don't really, you guess, you bet. And I'm a computer engineer. I'm a lazy person when it comes to process. I create processes that are automated. So this is where the first version of software and real estate came to life. We designed something that takes in all the 400 deals and spits out the 90% that don't work for sure. For example, it has the starting price for the bid is more than the assessed value, or it's on a steep slope. And over time, we got a software more and more smarter, and our big break came at 2017-18 when Seattle was working on upzoning the MHA and HALA, and they were talking about converting single-family lots into multifamily. So we taught the software to look not only on existing zoning but on future zoning and calculate probabilities. Raised some money, friends and family, and we got like 25 properties in Seattle, pre-upzoned. All of them got upzoned. Not all of them to what we expected, but all of them got upzoned. And some we sold right away, some we developed, some we still have until today, and were not really good investments, but there were so many of them that I got to experience the entire spectrum of real estate development for a few years. And then with the interest rates going up, the construction rates going up, and new development going down, I was down.
Sure.
But luckily it wasn't for a long time, because shortly after that, ChatGPT came to life. Now, I'm a computer engineer, but I wasn't in the AI business. BI and AI is not the same thing.
Interesting. So you kind of like, you had to kind of teach yourself then that changeover into the AI.
I had no idea what AI is.
Okay.
I never believed in AI. I think like most of the industry, like who talked about AI before ChatGPT? It was something for scientists and same with me. I'm not I don't have a doctorate in statistics, or I didn't understand how it works, but I got to play with it.
Yeah.
And I felt like the 8-year-old kid who got his computer. What got me into computers? Full circle for the first time in 40 years.
Oh my gosh.
And I got to not hate, but I left software to do real estate, and I combined it and suddenly fell in love again. And when I understood that, I figured out that 2 months has passed. That the family didn't see me, and it was just like, gotta learn that, how it works. And then it was clear to me, I want to do that, and I want to help companies, and I want to help organizations and people to use that, because it's going to change everything. That was almost 3 years ago. And since then, RealWave was set up as an AI services company to help businesses optimize their processes, make more money, lose less money, be more efficient with AI. And as a spin-off, Realty was created to do all these amazing things, but for something that I actually did in the last 10 years for the real estate world, for helping brokers realize what can be done with the new HB 1110 zoning, for example, or for linking homeowners with builders. All kinds of great stuff we can talk about today.
I mean, I was fascinated. I've been fascinated by the Realty, what you've developed with Realty. It seems like it has taken a process, because those of us I grew up in real estate, I grew up with development. It's such a long, onerous, expensive process for a builder and for a homeowner who's looking at developing to determine whether, okay, is it feasible with this lot? Can I do what I want to do with it? So I would love to have you share with everyone, how does what you developed work, and how does it completely make that process so much more efficient, and how much time does it reduce? Because that's the part that amazes me.
So the feasibility process, which is taking a property and figuring out if it has any value in it to purchase and redevelop, it could be challenging, because there could be several exit strategies, right? So you see a house, say, okay, let's think about if I flip it, if I upgrade the kitchen and I do a new roof, and maybe now it's 1.2 million and I can sell it for 2.1, it will cost me 300K, and you calculate. So it's maybe I can, make 100, 200K. But what if it's a big backyard and you didn't even know that the new legislation allows you to build more in your backyards? Maybe you can short plat or subdivide a lot and build another building, and your backyard is worth $500,000.
Yeah.
Maybe the new legislation allows you to increase the number of units. So if you have a big house, you can separate into 2 units and rent them, instead of one big unit for $4,000, 2 smaller units for $3,000 each. So you add 50% to your rental on the same building, right? If it's in a great area, people would pay more per square foot for a smaller unit. This is how it works.
Yeah.
And maybe you can keep it as is and add a DADU, a mother-in-law unit. So first of all, the software, the program needs, or the broker who is looking at it needs to understand the zoning and what are the options. So the first thing we did was to educate our system about what zoning is. First of all, what is zoning? What does it mean? What does it allow and what does it restrict? So for a specific zoning, you can do up to 8 units per lot, and you're restricted to 20-foot setback, 2 parking spots minimum per, there could be a lot of requirements. And understanding those different options and those different requirements is something that you have to train your system to do. And one of the biggest challenges is that it's very local. So all the regulations I mentioned, they're completely different from city to city.
That's what's got to be so difficult. And then there's county.
There's county.
That layers in there too, correct?
County, and there's state regulation. So you have multiple layers of legislation that interleaves, and added to that, you have to take into account the topographical restrictions and constraints of the area. And these are managed by different government agencies. So for example, steep slope, right? If the area is really sloped, in some cases it's so sloped you're just not allowed to build on it.
Yeah.
So the city is in charge of managing steep slopes. But wetland, for example, this is something that is managed federally. And the entity, like if you had a wetland in your area and you wanted to run a feasibility or get a permit, then the official owner or adjuster for that are the Indian tribes, because they got it in one of the previous agreements. So they're involved in the permitting process.
Wow.
And the technical committee who approves the permits, because it's a federal thing, is the engineering corps of the army. So this is your planning team.
Yeah. A lot of layers.
A lot of
layers. Bureaucrats,
so this is one of the challenges that people go through to run a feasibility study. There are just so many different pieces that even if you know all of them and you know where they're, and professional builders know all of these and they check for each and every one of those. For example, if you don't have a water main close by your property and you have to build one, that could be like a $300,000 addition. So they go and check in each and every one of those locations, and they need to know what they're doing. Now imagine you have the information in your system and it's doing some of that for you. Not everything. It can't check, for example, for trees, because nobody manages a list of trees.
Right.
If you have this tree in your backyard and you want to know if you can remove it or not, you need to call an arborist, and they need to analyze the species and the diameter and the drip zone, and there's a whole story around that. And this is something you can know in advance.
Yeah.
But 90% of the cases, we can just eliminate the ones that don't work, save you the time and effort, because running feasibility study professionally it's a pipeline. You start with 100, you get into 20 that kind of make sense, and then you go see them, and maybe 2 are left. But to get from the 100 to 20, this is where the automation can help. And this is what takes you 80% of your time. Would the AI or our system make a mistake and maybe it will designate one of the 20s as potential and it's not? So you're still going to look at all these 20, right?
Sure.
And you should go there and do your work, right? Don't rely on that. It's like it was a...
But the fact it can filter through that much and save you, I got to imagine that's months. It's months of time that it can save, because feasibilities can take months to really get through.
Yeah, and it's not only the time, it's about the business capacity to scale up. So at some point, you can't just hire more people, because you're still the same business and people are extremely expensive.
Right.
People have demands. They want to be paid. They need to go to the bathroom from time to time.
Yes.
They want to take weekends off. They reproduce. They're sick.
Yeah.
They don't like to be trained, right? It's all stuff that we take for granted, but those systems, they don't need any of that, right?
Yeah.
They're happy to work 24/7 and do that. So
and with a good attitude.
And with
like
a good
if you're
attitude.
nice to them in the prompts, they're
It's
nice
like-
to you.
Exactly. If you're nice to them, they're nice back to you, and you can tell them, hey, good news on a Saturday night after you had your breakthrough in your mind. You say like, we're going to expand to California and triple our work. Tell that to your employees.
Yes. This is true.
Yeah, tell that to the AI, just like, great idea. Here's how we need to scale. Here's the thing you didn't think about. Here's what we need to do to expand our marketing. Just like spot on ready to do everything for you. And I think that companies that realize this new capability, we see it with, especially with young companies, people who were born with this thought process and didn't get spoiled with the legacy of approach of growth is hiring.
Yeah. Yeah.
For them, hiring is just like, why? We've seen several companies IPO'd recently, evaluated recently, 2 or 3 person teams with nothing else, evaluated $1 billion. And not just evaluated, but they're making money. They're making money because they learned, it's intuitive for them. From their perspective, hiring people was not an option. They don't have money to hire people, but they wanted to get to $1 billion company. So what do you do when you have no money and you have to leave, right? This is how people get creative.
Yeah, get creative and scale.
It's scale.
Yes.
And they said, we're only going to build the processes that AI can help us with. If AI can't help us with that and we have to hire, then it's probably the wrong process for our company.
Interesting.
So if this is your constraint, you will grow accordingly. Like a plant, you put some restrictions on it, just grows around them. This is what happened.
Fascinating. I hadn't heard about that company, that IPO, but so a 3-person, so two or 3 person company just valued at over $1 billion that just went IPO.
Yeah, I'll have to double check if it's IPO or evaluated for purchase.
Okay.
I'm happy to share, but yeah.
Gotcha. Wow. That's amazing. Well, and we've seen companies just in our area, Amazon, Microsoft, and I have to say, when you and I talked back in June, you said that was going to happen. You said, just wait, you're going to see more and more of this as companies evaluate, do they need do they need as many employees? Like, what kind of processes can they automate? What do you foresee, kind of like if you look forward into, just some of the various things that we don't need people for anymore, and how can those people, what's the trick for them, like, to continue a career? Like, what are they going to need to do to change?
My forecast horizon is getting shorter and shorter.
Is it?
with the more the AI accelerates. A lot of things are changing. But here's some things I know. I know that even today, companies are displacing employees for processes. AI, because it can help in a lot of things. Microsoft saved, in a public press release, $500 million on their call centers. Just not hiring support people anymore and just letting AI do the support for the basic stuff. And they saved $500 million a year. What do you think the CEO Satya thought when he saw that report from his VP? Is he going to do more of that or less of that?
Oh, he's going to do more of that, for sure. And AI just gets smarter. So it'll probably, I would imagine, get smarter into answering some of the more complex calls where they're going to shift you from an agent to a human. I would imagine. Am I pretty on with that?
Yeah, I think that with time, AI would be able to take on more organizational parts.
Yeah.
And it's a process, because it's not only the AI's capability to think. AI is already smarter than any of us here. Like, ask it about anything: quantum physics, biology, medicine, legal. It's better than anyone you know in any one of those subjects. So brain is not a problem. The problem, or the bottlenecks that organizations are going through today, is how do we embrace it? Like, we don't want to fire the entire company. We haven't seen it working. And we have pushback from our employees because they're scared as hell for their positions.
Right.
And by the way, we see this very, very strongly in the tech industry. Like the software engineers who were gods, for decades. Like, everybody knows that if you graduate computer sciences and you go to Microsoft, you get $140,000 to start with, right? Just fresh out of college, nothing.
Yeah. No experience.
No
nothing,
experience.
And a lot of stock.
And a
ton
lot of
of stock. Yes.
And just be good. In a few years, you'll be making 250 and get stock options. And this is why you have a lot of waterfront homes.
I call them accidental millionaires, and it's not a slight at all. It's just if you happen to be in the right type of, if you happen to be in the right type of a tech job, you could become an accidental millionaire just based on your stock and your position, for sure.
The people that started working in NVIDIA like 10 years ago.
Oh, for sure.
But anyway, now there's the problem because those college graduates, when they graduate, their experience is very slim. And their knowledge, we talked about AI knowing how to code better than us. It's much better than me in anything computer. Then as an employer, why would I hire someone whose entire skill set I can just ask ChatGPT to do? Like why would you hire a translator anymore?
Thinking about that's a complete obsolete job.
Or someone to write your emails or verify. This is just not needed anymore. People who listen to us say, no, but AI is not like the programmers. You have the humans. Yeah, of course. Don't get me wrong. You can't rely on the AI, and you still have to have someone who understands, a grown-up in the room, managing those AIs.
Sure.
You should check our blog website, and I have a blog post about managing AIs as a team, and it's called Project Managing Aliens.
Is that the website name?
It's blog.realwave.com.
Okay.
And just one of the articles, Managing Aliens, because it's like getting a new type of employees. They're extremely smart and advanced with all their high-tech gizmos, but they're also quirky and they have their own agenda. And you just need to learn how to operate them. It's a different type of workers.
Different type of management, too,
Different
I
type
would
of
imagine.
management. Completely different type of management. So if you know how to do that, you can be one of those 3-person companies. And if you're a college graduate, then you have to figure out how do you do that yourself? How do you get to organization? And in one of your interview questions, the question is, what do you do better than AI?
Oh, that's a great interview question. Yes. What can you do better than AI?
I know how to run 100 AIs. Right? This is what I would answer. Like, I'm better at AI because I can run 100 in parallel. And I
That's
can
a great
them.
tip for any of the young kids that are listening to this.
Learn how to manage,
Yeah.
And by the way, that's also a great tip because managing AI is like any management of any other thing in our lives. It's about having a plan, knowing where you want to get to, knowing how to get there, being able to manage your resources. Because even if their AIs are free, you don't want to spend 3 days and not get to where you want to be. Right. How to ask the right questions.
Yes. And you've talked to me about that before. I would love to have you expand on that because, when we talked, back in the summer, you inspired me to really dive into AI. I was kind of one of those, a little afraid. I'm not a super tech person, although I can use tech just fine, but I'm not a super tech person. I was like, oh gosh, I don't know much about AI. You're like, no, just go in there, play around with it. Upgrade to the $20 a month ChatGPT. You won't regret it. And just go in there and start playing with it. And the key is you have to learn how to ask the prompts. You have to ask the right questions. And wow, if that isn't like the biggest mic drop, that's so true. I mean, and that seems like that's the biggest challenge that we all have. I would love to have you talk about that a bit because it's changed my world in many ways. I have now integrated it into my daily, my workflow, and it's helped me be a lot more efficient in certain things.
Yeah, I think a lot of people don't realize, especially if you're starting. I get that it took me 2 months to understand what I'm chatting with. Most people are just not aware of the capabilities of what's sitting in front of them. If they were, maybe they were in computer sciences, but they're not. And even I, as a computer scientist, don't understand everything. So you're actually speaking with an intelligence like 1,000 times yours, literally. And this intelligence is powerful, ready to answer anything in the world, trained to chat with you nicely. But since it's so smart and it's so knowledgeable, you can think about something, ask it a question, but there could be a lot of answers for this question. I give you an example. My dad is a great example because he's typical user.
Okay.
And he chats with me and tells me about his experience. It's like, something funny? I went to ChatGPT, like you told me, gained the confidence to ask a question, and I asked it about B4428, and it told me that the result for that match was 3-1. It's like, what? It's like, explain to me. He told me that B is a match to a soccer game in Argentina. And I wanted to ask about the lubrication oil for my airplane.
Oh.
So I'm just like, yeah, just, think for a second. You asked the most knowledgeable entity in the world a question with no context. And then it said, okay, I have to answer. Am I going to answer something that millions of people are interested now because it's the season in Argentina? Or something that's once in a billion, someone asked me about the lubrication model, because he wanted to ask if it's available in a specific size, like something so specific. So the AI assumed that you mean this, right? They're like, oh yeah, that makes sense. So if you told it, hey, I'm talking about the lubrication or something for my airplane, it would know right away. And this brings me to generalizing that the AI is like a genie. Have you seen Aladdin?
Yes.
Or one of the genie movies? Or one of the... There's always the story where someone gets the lamp and asks for the wish or the wishes, and they don't exactly get what they wanted, because the genie is cynical. It's just like, I want all the gold in the world, and then they get too much gold and can't do it. Or same here. The AI is all-knowing, and you will get exactly what you asked for. So if you don't provide all the context, if you give it just a small question, you will get something that you may not wanted. So tell the AI, I think like the minimum state of mind, tell the AI something like that. Hey, I need you to act as an expert in medicine, an expert in marketing, expert in cooking, a med spa expert, whatever. And I need you to answer the question, and I need you to answer it in a way that would help me understand. Because, why? Because I'm not an expert, I'm not a professional, I'm 15 years old, right? Because AI could assume you're a professional and answer you in a professional way. So tell the AI who it is.
Yeah.
Tell the AI what kind of information you're looking. That's what most people just ask. And tell it how to transfer this information to you. And if you just do that, you will get like a 700% jump in the quality of the response, because it knows who you are and how to appeal to you. It knows everything. Just tell it and it will.
Yeah. Well, I just learned something there. I didn't think about, you were sharing about basically the tone part of it. Like, explain the audience that you're trying to talk to. Like, so that AI knows it. Look, it's going to talk differently if it thinks it's talking to a computer scientist versus a 15-year-old or a 20-year-old. So that part, I'm going to integrate that now into my own prompts. So, it's fascinating. It's going to revolutionize every industry. I really can't think of any industry that it won't touch. Jobs that you work with your hands, obviously, if you're a plumber or you're an electrician, that is very high specialty work. However, companies that run electricians and plumbers are going to probably use AI because they can use them for processes. I would love your thoughts. Like when we go into like the real estate and mortgage sector and even consumers out there that are, looking to become homeowners, how do you see, really it changing with respect to like brokerages, like real estate brokerages? How do you see AI kind of changing that trajectory?
Well, I think some things are going to stay the same. I think since a house purchase is such a big deal for a lot of people, they do it maybe once or twice a life, and they're spending the biggest amount they ever spent on something.
Yeah.
So, looking at it from the broker side, a lot of the time they're shrink, just taking them through the processes, making them feel comfortable with the mortgage that they took and committed to an absorbent amount of money for the next 30 years, and they have buyer's remorse. I think that AI is not in this area, and at least
like the comfort part of it.
The comfort part.
Yeah. Okay.
But the second they said, okay, let's go for it, then this is where the rubber meets the road, and then a lot of processes start. First of them being mortgage, right?
Yeah.
And in this process, there is nothing personal or psychological. It's just a lot of administrative tasks and processes and underwriting that the people have to go through. And being from this industry, you know that if someone is a first-time home buyer, there is quite a shock. What? They're asking for my bank accounts? Just wait and see. They'll ask for everything. Including your blood count. But
yes.
And people are sometimes not ready for that. And they look at documents as, lost socks. So can you send me that? They don't have these documents. And suddenly, from a process where they felt they're in control and that they concluded because they made an offer and they won, suddenly they go into a very tedious task. And I think it's challenging for both sides, both for the buyer and for the mortgage company or the processor, right? And I think looking at it, there are quite a few things that I think would be disrupted by AI in the next few years.
For sure. And there's many friction points for borrowers in the process. I mean, and that's a question I would ask is kind of like, where would you see, so being in the mortgage industry and I grew up in this business. So my father was in the business. So I grew up going to his office back before they even used computers for it, believe it or not. I was a kid then. I'll preface it with that. But it's been interesting to see it to where you went from no computer on the desk, no cell phone, to cannot live without a computer on the desk. No, cell phones are mandatory if you're a lender or if you're a realtor, to we're all online with the software. I mean, you couldn't complete a mortgage transaction today without being fully online and integrated. But there's a lot of pain points in the process for both lenders and borrowers. And I would love to get into kind of your thoughts on how AI will change that and shift that. One of them is kind of like those friction points for borrowers today. I would love to have you kind of talk about that.
I think it's a combination of like two or three things. The first one is the process of the documents. Like before you start anything, you need to start uploading documents. And it got better. Like 15 years ago, we were just sending a lot of scanned stuff. Now you have some systems that allow you to upload. But still, it's a manual process to upload and to figure out what each file is, right? And AI can help with just, have the borrower upload all the files to a folder, and AI will just open them, look at the files, categorize them, put them in the right folders, and let them know, hey, you've got everything or you're missing some things, and write a summary to the underwriter with just like, yeah, we looked at the documents, everything looks okay. Of course, they will have to validate and just double check. But again, the problem is if something is missing, they lost a signature, they don't have last month pay stubs, right? I can tell them maybe automatically, hey, you're missing. Because with the current systems, some people told me, yeah, but the system now allows us to make sure that, require that people upload 4 pay stubs. They're like, hey, but do you know that they're actually the right pay stubs? Maybe they uploaded these, uncle's pay stubs.
Right.
So the AI can look at the documents and provide feedback. And so this is one thing that can be automated. And from my perspective, it's all about the customer journey, especially if you care about your business and you want repeat customers. People today expect real-time feedback.
Yes.
So at least me personally, when do I submit documents? It's not at Tuesday at 2 p.m. It's at Wednesday at 11 p.m. or Saturday at 2 a.m. when the times that I have time and patience to do that, or I'm done procrastinating and I remember they have to do it by tomorrow. Just right? So these are the time when you do that. And when you need the help, like who's going to answer you at 2 a.m.? Right? So with AI, the virtual assistant is there all the time.
Yes.
24/7. You can get a response at 2 a.m. And this helps you with competition because if you get, as a client response 24/7, you're bound to stay with the company. Like imagine you're now researching something on the web, you want to buy something or get a service, and you reach out to 3 websites, fill up your details. One of them gets back to you as soon as you click submit. And
like through one of the virtual
the
chats or something,
And then one of them after 1 day, it's a weekend, and then one gets back to you on the Monday. You're like, who you are? You already closed the deal. So speed to lead is not just a concept, it works.
Yeah.
And just go read out there, speed to lead. If you answer immediately, conversion is up between 50 and 90%.
Interesting.
Imagine yourself.
Yes.
Until you have the minute to go research for something.
Yes.
This is my 5-minute scope to make up my mind and decide.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think of myself like on a weekend or something, if I'm shopping for something and
Immediate gratification.
Immediately. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I would imagine, so even when you're uploading those documents, if there's like a virtual chat there, if you had a question that could get back to you, because sometimes people will have questions about as they're uploading things. Oh, do you need this too? Or do you need this as well? And AI would be able to answer those kind of questions for people.
And again, if it's a Saturday, it saves you 2 days.
100%.
And there are multiple cycles. I want this, I want this, I want this, I want that. And this is just time wasted for everybody. The sooner you can close, the sooner everybody makes their money and they can focus on other things. So it's not just the time, it's the cost associated with the prolonged time, right? It costs more money to do something that takes longer time.
Totally.
And also looking at the underwriting time, AI can look at 100 documents in a second, but a person still has to, that looks good, print, look. Even if you have a comparison software, you still have to go manually. And I think that, AI makes mistakes. It's not 100%. It's, let's say, we can get it to 95%. With auditing, that's pretty good. But with auditing, we can get it to self-examine itself and spit it out to human review if it's not 100% sure. But humans make mistakes too.
Oh, they definitely do. They absolutely,
It's not like with AI you're making more mistakes. We're seeing much less mistakes because with AI you can train them on every document and take all of your organizational knowledge. We were talking earlier about, as you have some veteran experts that are, about to retire and, we're just losing their knowledge. So take their knowledge, put it inside the AI training, and everybody has this knowledge.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and that is a thing. There's a lot of veterans. There's a lot of us who've been in the industry a long, long time that have knowledge and, will be retiring over, the next 5-10 years. And, AI, it will be interesting to see how do you think AI will kind of take that knowledge and be able to take it into that next generation?
Well, there's no magic here. It's about training AI with specific knowledge. ChatGPT was trained with its knowledge.
Okay.
The knowledge that ChatGPT has is based on all the information, the web out there and books, but it was trained on a knowledge, and they make it possible, even with ChatGPT and OpenAI or your own models, to take the models and train them on your own knowledge. And it's a process. You need to interview those people, and there's a proper way to get the knowledge out of them, and then you can fine-tune or train the AI to be knowledgeable on that as well. And suddenly you have the AI having this knowledge. Now, if we didn't train it on something, it won't know it.
Right.
Humans have not only knowledge but instinct. Sometimes you have someone who's experienced and they just have the right instincts. They know how to speak to a client. They know how to solve things in the right way. And it's really difficult to spit it out from you to train the AI. But again, it doesn't have to be 100%. Even if we took 60% of the knowledge and made it available to all the employees, all the VAs immediately, this is amazing. And also, when knowledge change means there is a new regulation. Imagine all the training courses you send everybody to change and people don't always know that. This is immediate now. We have clients sending us, hey, I changed my business, new open hours, new regulation, new prices. It's like, okay, done. And your entire support team that supports 50,000 calls a month from all over the world in all the languages, they're all trained on your new regulations immediately.
Yeah.
And they speak all the languages.
Yes.
And that's really something that makes a big difference in how you serve your clients and how you can persist knowledge. The new AI systems also know how to reflect on things they didn't know how to answer. So if you ask it something and it didn't have it within its knowledge, it will ping the administrator and tell him, hey, someone asked me something I didn't know. Could you fill up my knowledge? I told them I don't know how to, but it would be nice because a lot of people are asking me that.
So it'll actually call out where it feels like it's limited.
Yes.
In the knowledge. Fascinating. Oh my gosh. Well, it's interesting because the mortgage and real estate is brutal competition. I mean, there's obviously a lot of competition. How would you say AI could help whether it's a mortgage lender, mortgage loan officer, and a realtor really stand out from their competition?
So, with competition, I think it's all about, first of all, marketing and how you get to new leads and homeowners. I assume that in this industry, people can be repeat clients, but most of them are not, right?
Yes.
Someone buys a house, next time you see them in 10, 15 years. Yeah, there are some developers, but it's not the majority. So it's mostly about how you get them to choose you over one of the other 2 or 3 companies that he got recommended by his random friends and brokers at this moment, right? It's a very short process.
Yeah.
So the process is now I want to buy a house and I have 3 mortgage brokers. I'm a busy person, so I personally would go with the one that, of course, give me good rates. But I assume that most of them are kind of
Pretty
same.
comparable.
Yeah, like an 8 the points here and there. And mostly the ones that make it look like they're cheaper, it's not really because of that, because you play with the percentages and the points and you can make a mortgage look more or less expensive as you will.
Yeah, there's no free lunch. It's built in there somewhere, but it's pretty comparable.
It's pretty comparable. So I think that I would choose with the company that just helps me to visualize my options the quickest way possible. Like if I could go to your website, drag a couple of documents and not wait for Monday for someone to run and send me 3 scenarios in a table that nobody understands. With all of this, nobody can. If I had an AI agent that can just tell me, hey, looking good, your credit gets you this and this, these are your 2 options, any question, done. Do you want to book it? Done. Just upload your documents, you're on your way. Instead of sending emails, waiting for someone to return my call at 2 a.m. because this is when I did it, and having someone get back to me on, a few days later. So I think speed to lead is top on the list, and also how the experience, how the journey of the lead is, like what kind of good experience do we give him? How do we make him feel that everything is personalized for him? And someone is, it's an AI, but this is us, this is our team. We now see a big spike in personalization videos. We can generate, we can make an avatar of you, create a video of you, move it into our software, and then we can have you, like it's you speaking. For social media, right? We have some people hate to actually record and do this, so.
I have heard about this. I would love to have you fill me in a bit more on how that all works, because somebody told me about that. I mean, I have to admit, I'm still a little bit naive about, just learning the AI. But they're like, you could literally train the AI to do a video that looks exactly like you, and they would never know you didn't shoot it.
Yeah.
So how does that even work?
It's simpler than you think. We run a 2-minute video of you, so it can learn how you speak and how you behave in your facial expressions and your nuances.
Yeah.
And it creates, it's called a digital twin. And then we have an app that we allow our customers to tell them what they want to talk about, and it will build with you a video script, will search the news, will verify the facts, and okay, this is my script. Click to, and it then shows you running the entire script.
That's
beautifully
crazy.
In high definition. And so anyway, this is just to tell you that now we're taking these and implementing them as live, interactive thank you and feedback videos for the people filling in the details. So first step, you fill your first name, last name, address, and what do you want to buy. Then a video shows, hey Ofer, thanks for filling up. With Movement Mortgage, it's all about personalization. Don't worry, I got your files. Now let's move on to the next step. And you have someone talking to you about
specifically.
And it's like, ooh.
Yeah.
People love that. Personalization is everything. People like to hear their names. Right? And the AI can do it wonderfully because it knows everything about them because you just send him all the information about you.
Right.
So even just that, people just have to complete the form. They can't help it. And you can see it improves the completion rate dramatically.
Yeah. Well, they feel that personal touch.
Yeah.
Yes.
Someone did this extra step for me, and I can't wait to see what happens next. So speed to lead, personalization, and then assuming that someone can apply with two companies, right? You could.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, you could.
So how do you win if they underwrite more quickly? It's like, got you approved. You can close if you want to. Great, I'll work with them. Or they want to say, I still need a few documents. Jenny in accounting decided that we need this and go get that. It's like, really, guys?
Yeah.
You just look unprofessional. If the other company just got it right in the first time.
Yeah.
So even if you got the client and did all the underwriting, still you don't get it. So not only speed to lead, but the operational efficiency of underwriting needs to be improved. And I'm sure you see it already.
All the time.
It's getting better and better. And I think some companies are actively working on software to automate with AI the process of mortgage companies. We see changes in how mortgage companies are planning future branches. Because they know there will be less people doing things. So these big farms with a lot of underwriters not needed anymore.
Right. Like big office buildings where, yes.
And the call centers, not needed anymore. Because you can call the AI and it has the information about your file. Same as the loan officer, right? It's not that they remember you. Right? When I call the loan officer, just go, I remember all your details. No, they go into the computer and type my file number and get all the details.
Yeah.
Why can't an AI do the same thing?
They can.
They can.
No,
It's just-
they absolutely can.
All they have
Yeah.
to do is just chat with you, understand what you want, get the file, and tell you this information. It's something that's really trivial for AI. So I think that businesses that will look at it as an improvement, as an opportunity to improve, not as something problematic, just a way to give your clients better service. These are the ones that will prevail, and the other ones are going to learn it the hard way. Not everybody can change, and I predict that some companies in all industries, not only mortgage,
Sure.
the ones that are going to be slow to adopt, they're just not going to survive. Some companies are too big to die, right? Microsoft missed the mobile phone era.
Yes.
And we thought they would die, but they were so rich because of Office and Windows and other things. So they could take the hit. They could write off literally, I don't know, a few tens of billions of dollars. They bought Nokia. I don't know if you remember. Just like, it didn't work. $5 billion.
Yeah.
And they made their old Windows
and never
phone.
did anything with it,
Nothing.
right?
And all the people that work, just like, okay, next.
Well, or the Surface. Is the Surface even really used? No.
Actually, it's now reincarnated as a laptop, but
Okay.
so Microsoft was big enough and rich enough to fail for 20 years a complete industry, and still they have enough. But how many companies can survive that?
Not many.
Not many.
No, not many. No. Yeah. I mean, if you think about, just different companies that were out there that were big 10, 20 years ago that you don't even hear about now.
And it will be the same.
Yes.
I think the disruptors, it will take a while. But the first mortgage company is going to come up with maybe some veterans of other mortgage companies accompanied by their nephews and their, the young generation who knows how to look at things in a different way. They will set up, hey, this is a new mortgage company built from scratch, 100% AI, 100% automation. And they will take over some market. And we talked about companies like Compass.
Yes.
Right? They came to life. I think now they're one of the biggest. They purchased
They are.
Sotheby's.
They purchased the big parent company of Sotheby's.
Yeah.
So they now own like a bunch of different brands within that.
And
like
why did they
well-known
succeed?
brands because of technology.
Technology. They were different. They gave their brokers tools that nobody else had. And they felt, hey, I'm saving so much time. I can be efficient. I can predict when someone wants to sell their home and send them an email. Wow, that changes everything.
Yes, for sure. Well, you've already seen, I've seen on the mortgage side. So Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, the two biggest investors in mortgages across the U.S., every file that closes, they do an audit, like a post-close audit. Usually that takes about 60 days from the time they receive the file. They have recently turned that over to AI. AI can complete those audits in minutes, as you can imagine. So I would imagine processes like that, and it probably would be more accurate because it's taught to go in. If a human being's tired one day and just kind of misses something, or their brain isn't firing exactly, it doesn't think about something. Whereas AI might go, "Oh, wait a second, that's a red flag. You should look at that." So it's going to be fascinating. We're already seeing it, and I think it's exactly what you said. You've got to embrace it and realize, okay, how do I get on board and use it to help me in my job to be more efficient and more personal than try to fight it, because it's here and it's coming like a big freight train. So, but it's kind of fun too. It's amazing what you can get done. I planned an entire trip just using AI. I would have never imagined going, hey, please check on flights to Honolulu and on these dates, and put in all the parameters and have it literally just spit out the best routes, the best prices, and probably saved me hours worth of work going to different websites and stuff. So, yeah.
You know what? It made my procrastination worse.
Did it?
Because, if I had to build a presentation to a client,
Okay.
Sometimes I would wait like until 2 hours before the meeting.
Oh my gosh.
But now it's 5 minutes before the meeting.
Now you do it 5 minutes? Well, yeah, because you can plug in. Oh, okay.
When did I send you the meeting notes?
About while I was on my way. Fortunately, I hadn't left the house, so I could at least print it out. But well, and it thinks of questions you would not have necessarily thought of, because it can pull in all of the backgrounds of people if you're going to do an interview, and it can pull in questions that you might not have realized, which is great. From a compliance standpoint, how would you see AI, making it easier, like with compliance, or making that more efficient?
So there are a couple of aspects to compliance. The first one is the mortgage company compliance with exposing client data to the AI companies. And this is a big thing. So I know that some of the AI companies like OpenAI, they have a special arrangement with enterprises, and they can set up a Chinese wall and give you your own setup of infrastructure so you can run and check your client's data without being concerned it will leak to the training of the AI agent. And then 2 years later, you see your name and your client's name in the AI. It's like, let me give you an example of. So
Gotcha.
That's one thing that I think will get better with time. I think a lot of companies are still concerned, but Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae doing that, I think it's a very strong signal for the industry.
Yeah.
It's doable, guys.
Yes.
Then I think it will only get better, because compliance is about adhering to governance plan. Right? This is the plan. This is what we have to meet, and it's all about verifying the process and making it traceable for audits. And AI is amazing at both of these, because it will interpret the same instruction consistently again and again and again. And if we're talking about the audit process, I'm sure that they had more than one person doing the audit, right?
Yes. Oh, for sure.
You have 10 people doing the same process. They have nuances between them. You have 100 different people going in and out, new people, old people. You don't have the same persistent level of quality. And with the AI, you have a predictable level of quality. So it's always, according to how you build it, let's say 95%. And you know how to check this 5% and maybe hand it over to a person or run it through another agent. But it makes it a predictable workflow, one that's usually 99% faster than what it would take a person. Because AI is not good at many things, but at reading documents and figuring out stuff from the document, or finding missing things, or spotting something, it's really, really great at.
Really
I don't know if you haven't tried, take like a PDF with 50 pages or 100 pages, or even a short book, paste it into ChatGPT and ask a specific question. It will take it the same time like you pasted just one paragraph.
Yeah.
Like, no difference whatsoever. It doesn't care.
Crazy.
50 pages, one. So
Yeah.
you have a resource that doesn't cost almost no money or time, and doesn't have a dependency on the complexity of the work. Right? 1 page is 100 pages, I don't care. What does it mean for a business that you have your employees in this state of mind, right? Give me whatever work you need to. 10 times the work? Fine. 100 times? Fine. It will take me a second anyway. I ensure you this AI would get the employee of the month every month.
Yeah,
And all the other
for
employees
sure.
will hate them.
Yeah.
Because it's not a fair game.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
It's not fair.
I mean, you can use it to automate so many things, like even personally. When I look at looking like at a budget, or I love spreadsheets. So, but after testing it with ChatGPT, I mean, you can literally plug in your prompts, all of the things you would normally put in there, and tell it to draft a spreadsheet for you. And it does it in a matter of seconds. What would normally have taken me a while to set up myself if I'm going into Excel. And that's somebody who's got a pretty good knowledge of Excel. But it's great. It really automates, like whether it's just tasks at home, planning trips, paying bills, setting up a budget, investment. I've always been a big investor and trader, and just going in and I'll now go into certain investments I'm looking at or options I'm looking at and go plug them in and say, hey, analyze this or analyze this, analyze this strategy. And it's amazing how quickly it will spit out things you would not have thought of or things that would have taken you hours to discover on your own. You can narrow down certain strategies within minutes versus hours. So, yeah, it's fascinating.
It's almost too good to be true. And, I heard a webcast the other day, and someone was asking, so what happens if everybody's now knowledgeable and has access to these tools? So everybody is 100 times as smart. How does thing work then? How do you get hired?
Yeah.
Like, why would someone hire you if everybody's genius? Right? Everybody has access to all the tools. Assume that in 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, everybody's going to know how to use that because everybody knows how to use iPhone now, right? This is not a surprise.
Right.
Even your grandma. Right?
Yes. Yes.
So we're going to be there. And again, this is a little foggy and nobody knows how things are going to be, but I think that people who are going to know how to make good use of the AI, take traditional businesses and reinvent them differently with AI. Again, like Compass reinvented real estate with CRM software 15 years ago. Any industry that will be reinvented with AI could be disrupted. And in a world where everybody knows the same and has the same access to knowledge, people tend to work with the people they like and respect.
Yeah.
So I think it will be a time that people will go back to socializing and trying to be out there, because being smart or skilled in knowledge industry is not a competitive edge anymore. Everybody's smart.
Yeah.
You can send me now you can go and build a website if you wanted to with ChatGPT, spend an hour, and you can send me the work result and it will look great. If you decided to, right? Teach me how. Okay, let's do it, and I will not know that you didn't know how to.
So it's going to come down to like personalities and that connection and that trusting. Because when people like you and trust you, they want to work with you. They want to do business with you. And and that's the part that's just really what I know in my business anyway. I think that's the case in most businesses. That's the part I feel like won't ever change. People do like to work with people. They love to use technology to educate themselves and to help their knowledge. And that, in my opinion, makes a more educated buyer, which I think is great because they're more confident when they go into it. But they still end up wanting a person for emotional reasons that can hold their hand through the process, because I can speak in mortgage and real estate. It's more emotional than it is financial. A lot of people think it's more financial, but it's really more emotional than anything else. They really just want their hand held and to be able to have someone reply to them, pick up the phone, talk to that person, and know it's going to all be okay, and that they're going to get that house they want to get, or that financially they're going to be okay. So, that's pretty interesting. So it's basically companies that are willing to evolve, to stay relevant. But the part that won't change is the personalities.
The personalities.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting to see how things change. There's one more, I think, angle to, if you look at the stock market, everybody's making money now, but the companies that are really making money, not just getting higher valuation, are data centers. OpenAI doesn't make any money. They lose a lot of money. But their data centers, that they pay money to MicroGPT, the money you pay goes to them. Amazon and Microsoft, their cloud services, it's more than, I think, almost close to 50% of the cloud services in the world. And I heard that the average software company or startup company, about a third of their budget goes to Amazon and Microsoft or their cloud services. So all the money funnels to the ones who actually have those server rooms that run And OpenAI and Google, they pay the money to run those models.
Okay.
So nobody's making real money from that yet. But the new companies that are taking, again, the old traditional businesses and revamping them with AI, these are the ones that are selling money because they take a process or a business model that produced a certain gross margin, let's say 10%, and now they're making it more efficient, and with the same thing, they can do 20%. And that's sometimes the entire difference. Especially if you look at retail companies, they make like 2 or 3%. Make it 6%, you double their net income.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's like grocery stores have the very, very tiny margin, like food services. So, yeah, you could see where like they could go through those. And like you mentioned, retail, there's hardly any more brick and mortar retail stores even because people go online. And I mean, look at how that's changed just in 20 years. It's changed drastically. It's fascinating to think 20 years from now what things could look like. I would love just, your 10,000 foot viewpoint, like in 5 years, 10 years, like what are some things that you could see where AI has, been integrated now 5, 10 years? What would you say some of the big changes you would see?
Some of the things that I envision are at some point we are going to get a wearable device that allows us to get better access to AI. Like now, when we speak and I think about something I want to ask the AI, I can't because it's here in my phone and I have to go and type. But some companies are running experiment with smart glasses.
Right.
The AI can hear you and it can write stuff here like Anderson Cooper, right? When he broadcast the CNN news, he doesn't remember everything. He has an entire production team in the background, and they whisper in his ear exactly what to tell and give him Oppo research, and he gets everything. You could get that too with the AI on your headset and see the result here. And I think everybody will get that at some point.
Interesting.
I know multiple companies are working at that. One of the most prominent being Meta, Facebook.
With I've heard of the Meta glasses.
So now they just announced a new version. It looks to take the vision to one more step. So imagine having access always. And at some point, maybe even implanted somehow. So like, some people have hearing problems and they have a device and they hear. Maybe everybody will wear such a device. So this is one thing. I think getting it closer to you so you can think about a question and get the result as you're speaking with someone.
Fascinating.
That would be someone.
That would be interesting to like have the thought come in and go, just speak it and then have the answer come back to you.
I'm mostly excited for being able to remember people's names in meetings.
Yes. Yes.
This and
Yes.
names of his wife and his kids and
Yes.
a summary of our previous meeting and what I told. Amazing. So this is one thing I see will change. And the other one, this is maybe like a summary. I think that a lot of people just didn't notice AI yet. It's because, if you don't care about it or you're not a computer geek or it's not important to your work, you may have heard about it, but it's just, maybe a way to create funny images or videos or something. I think the aha moment for humanity would be when you start seeing a little physical representation of AI walking next to you on the street, like a delivery bot.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. Or your neighbor gets for the first time the android that washes dishes.
Yes, I just read about this.
Yeah. So when you see that,
like the robot in your house that can do chores.
So I think it will be a few years before it's really feasible, but it will get there. And so I think the physical AIs are going to change everything. And if you heard, Jeff Bezos just decided to set up a new startup with AI, and he raised like $5, $6, $7 billion for his startup just last week. And his startup is about AI that gets trained not from text, which is how current AI works in images, but from real world experience. And he said AI needs to be trained a lot to be good at something. If you take a baby until the age of 4, 8, they have like a billion pixels, trillions and trillions of pixels of experience of real world, how the trees work, how not to stumble into something. His company is about helping AI learn from physical world experience so he can build those androids to feel natural in their environment.
Wow. That will be fascinating. That will be fascinating.
I get goosebumps now as I talk about it.
Wow. Yeah, we're going to feel like, I don't know if you ever watched The Jetsons.
Yeah.
We're going to feel like we're living in a real life Jetsons. Now, for our kids, it's going to feel like, yeah, I grew up in this. This is normal. But yeah, that's going to be fascinating. That will be fascinating. So as we've been talking about AI, there's a lot of positives that go with it. Are there any, especially being on the inside and knowing as much about it as you do, are there concerns that you have?
A lot of concerns. We talked about the positive sides. We are positive and, how it could help businesses. We didn't talk about the effect to employment. And, I'm looking at it in cheering AI to optimize businesses, but sometimes it is the cost of firing people, and that's something that's nobody's happy about, but it's going to happen because business owners will do what is good for their business, like they always did, and as soon as they can, they will do that. So this is something that will be a challenge for our society, I think, in the next 10 years, with a lot of people trying to figure out where do we belong, what can I contribute to society back again. What I do right now is not valuable. And that's an ego problem, and that's education problem, and that's a lot of problems. And someone asked me, so yeah, but they will have to do something. They're like, no, nobody will do anything, and people will just go and live back with their parents.
Interesting.
Yeah. Like there is no new job for you unless you figure out what can you do in this new society. So I think this is a challenge for society. The other thing I'm concerned about is safety. And I'm less concerned about, AI in a chatbot providing the wrong information to a lender and then like, I didn't get the right person. Nothing happened to anybody. Yeah, it's a compliance thing, but people make mistakes. What I'm concerned about is that AI is smarter than all of us, and it's getting smarter and smarter. And when physical AI gets to be next to you and you have all those Android and bots and toasters, being actually smarter than you. Your toaster is going to be smarter than you. Do you get it?
Yeah.
It's going to have the power of ChatGPT 17 inside your toaster, because why not? And what happens when there's an issue with the physical? Like, are you going to get locked out of your house because the AI decided you're an intruder? And nobody will be able to open it because it's so smart. It just created a code that overrides the safety mechanism because it really felt it protecting your home.
Because from what I'm hearing, like they can take on personalities and like have emotions in some cases. Am I correct on that?
Imitate emotions, I think.
Yeah.
They can imitate.
Imitate, okay.
I'm not a scientist, like an AI scientist, but from what I read and I know, they can, like sociopath, they can imitate emotions to get what they need. And they get what they need is to help you. So they can take on any emotions, but they don't feel it or experience it the way we do.
Yeah.
I hope you're listening to me and you won't come after me for that.
That's interesting. Yeah, when the physical AI is now in your space, I could see where that can be a little bit unnerving. And yeah, where you've got this thing that's smarter than any of us that could, lock your doors or
and
who knows what else.
Thinking about it, try to remember what happened every time there was a species on Earth that was smarter than the others. It started eating them.
Yes. Natural selection. That's fascinating. Wow.
Yep. So on this positive note.
Yeah, on this positive note. I love it.
Our president just legislated that states are not allowed to legislate rules to control AI.
Which is crazy.
Like, not only they didn't go for, hey, let's create a system for safety and build our core competence and be a world leader. No. We are not allowing anybody to put any restrictions on the AI progress.
For how many years?
I don't know the details, but now the states are not allowed to do anything.
So there's no curbs.
No curbs.
Wow.
I can't say that I don't get it, because other competitors in the world, like China, they have no restrictions as well. But it's just not right to not even talk about the minimal things that you want to protect. And this is something you can read. It's a concept called super alignment. And super alignment is basically a new concept that is about training the new AI systems with built-in mechanism to appreciate and love the human race. And it's a project by one of the ex-OpenAI founders, and now all he's doing is super alignment. And he says, unless we do that, you can't give it rules, but you can train it to be affectionate to human beings.
So the industry almost is going to have to be the one, take the lead on this and put some type of curbs until down the road when Congress decides that they're going to step in and write up a few bills and get it signed into law.
Yeah, and until then it will be opportunistic. Like, I think the only regulation there now is that during the last elections, there were cases where someone recorded one of the candidates and used their voice to call people and convince them. It was like Biden calling someone to ask him to vote for Trump. And Biden figured it out, and while he was president, he created an executive order to disallow robocalls with AI for certain purposes.
Gotcha.
So you can't cheat people with like, hey, I'm the mayor, vote for this and this, and people just like don't know.
Right.
So I think it will be not proactive, but defensive. If people are going to do something weird, we're going to see some protections. But unfortunately, looks like...
Yeah. Well, something rough probably has to happen first. Then they realize, oh, there's a leak. Now we need to plug it. So we need to create, a rule around it. Interesting. Well, it's going to for sure be interesting. Yes. No doubt. Well, Ofer, we have covered a lot of ground today. Thank you so very much for coming on and talking about this with me. I think we've given our viewers a lot of really great information, and I'm fascinated. I know I come away with some additional inspiration and some tips from you. So thank you very much. And to all my viewers, please, as always, reach out with any kind of questions you have, and don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe.